another Shoalhaven Water podcast, presenting community information your way.
Joining us this morning is the Executive Manager of Shoalhaven Water, Rob Horner. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Chance, and good morning, Beck.
Good morning.
It's an interesting business, your business, because when I talked about the infrastructure earlier this morning and then talking about you coming on the show, water utility services, more than 50,000 properties across the Shoalhaven. You also manage a $2 billion infrastructure budget, including 13 water waste treatment plants, 4 treatment plants, 260 pump stations, 4 dams and more than 3,200 kilometres of water and sewer pipelines.
Wow.
That's a bloody lot of infrastructure you got to look after.
Yeah, it is. $2 billion worth of assets. We're over the top of the $2 billion mark now. So, yeah, you're quite right. It's a huge asset base we look after.
What's being proposed is residential water availability rising from $88 to $145 per year and water usage rising from $2 to $2.50 per week.
Yeah, so I will just correct there, Chance. Water usage is rising from $2 to $2.50 per kilolitre.
Per kilolitre,
yes,
Okay.
yes, not per week. So it works out a lot less per week than that. But look, it's a significant rise when you talk in terms of percentages. There are some reasons for that. And I wouldn't mind giving a bit of background.
Please.
Just the recent history of water charging in the Shoalhaven.
Yep.
So over the past 10 years, the water usage price has increased on average by less than 3% per year. So that indicates that we're running a fairly tight business, I believe. That's well below the CPI over the past 10 years. We've had a number of serious setbacks, I guess you'd say, and it dates back to the bushfires.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to bring that up with you. So let's talk about the bushfires. We've got to use water to put the bushfire out. Where's the water come from? It comes out of the Shoalhaven Water scheme.
Much of it does, yeah. And the fire authorities, they basically have legal access to our water supply during those periods. And then through the state government, there's no recompense for Shoalhaven Water. So that water is basically used for firefighting at nil cost. So we had that bad start where water usage was up and no revenue for that water used to fight fires. Then, of course, we went straight into flood situation. And when we get floods, an awful lot of rain around, people reduce their water usage significantly. No water used outside.
No sprinklers or anything like that.
Exactly. And people even cut down on their washing because they can't hang their washing out.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and then, of course, COVID came. So it was just a consecutive impost. So when COVID came, we all know that prices increased. And your small business here, you would have noticed materials, contracting, those costs just increased. So it was just a rolling events over that 3 years. We've tried to absorb as much as we possibly can.
Yep.
I certainly mentioned that electricity is one of the biggest. We are bigger electricity users and electricity has increased by 70% over the last 3 years for us. So,
yeah, wow.
And similar chemicals, we use a lot of chemicals in our treatment processes. They've also increased by about 70%. And as I mentioned, materials and contracting, we all know that that's sort of increased by about 50%, 40 to 50% over the past 3 years as well. So, yes, it is tough times. Unfortunately, we cannot absorb any more. The Water Fund has been running in deficit, operational deficit over the past 3 years, and we just need to do something about it now.
Yeah, okay. How do you think people will accept this? They were quite angry about rates.
Well, no, and the important thing to remind people is that this has nothing to do with the SRV or the rate peg. Funds raised through the Water Fund must be, in accordance with the Local Government Act, they must be used for water purposes. So it's not a cash grab by council to
make some money on the side.
Exactly.
So none of your profits go back in the general funds of Shoalhaven City Council?
No. So they're like 3 buckets of money. You've got the general fund, water fund, and also the sewer fund. They're the 3 funds of council, and there's only very, very strict circumstances where money can jump from one bucket to another, and probably the main one is a dividend. But the water and sewer funds must make a surplus, operational surplus, in order to pay a dividend to the the general fund.
There are businesses of Shoalhaven City Council, you're one of those, including Holiday Haven and others, that actually make some money. And it's good to see that the money that you guys make in Shoalhaven Water goes back into infrastructure and everything else that you guys do, because let's face it, we've got land opening up all around the place. There's infrastructure that's got to be built, and I know there's a whole lot of infrastructure out here at Mossvale Road that you guys are just about to finish off out there, so it all costs money.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we talked about the $2 billion asset base that we already have. That's increasing.
Yeah.
So, you know, more maintenance, renewal costs rise. Yeah, it's a difficult period that we're going through.